Coming up, we'll take you inside the brand new renovations in downtown Bryan's historic LaSalle Hotel.
And we'll show you how some students are turning trash into fashion. I'm Sandy Ferris.
And I'm Alan Brugman, and this is Bryan Living and Learning. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Bryan Living and Learning. Coming up, we'll give you full recaps of the City of Bryan's Blue Bunny event, an A&M softball game that the City of Bryan sponsored, and we'll give you a preview of Earth Day.
And we'll show you how counselors are preparing high school students to make important decisions concerning courses. We'll show you how some campuses motivate students to pass the TAKS, and we'll visit with our state champion color guard from Bryan High School.
Before we get to those stories, though, first we'll take you to historic downtown Bryan, where the LaSalle Hotel recently underwent a huge renovation.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the LaSalle Hotel in downtown Bryan. Please come on in, be our guest.
The LaSalle Hotel in downtown Bryan has received a facelift thanks to new management. Magnolia Hotels came to an agreement last fall to take over the downtown Bryan landmark, and since that time the entire hotel has been remodeled. We met up with new general manager Scott Roche for a tour of the property. We started upstairs in one of the guest rooms.
So this is one of our double bedrooms, double-double. Some of the new features of the renovation is all new bedding packages, mattresses, box springs, railing, bed skirts, linen, so forth and so on. Headboards kind of got a facelift, new lighting, artwork in all the rooms, new televisions, new dressers, fresh coat of paint, just an overall facelift of the property. We pulled down all the old historic type pictures that needed to get updated, and we're going through that way.
And the LaSalle has more than just double-doubles.
We have rooms that are king-size beds, queen-size beds, king parlors, which is a separate room all to itself, and then we have our suites, which have a day bed.
From the rooms, we went back downstairs to check out the refurbished lobby area.
This is our new front desk. We had it milled off property, and they brought it in. This way the agents can come out and greet the guests and assist with luggage and whatnot. And like I said, front desk was behind us here, and this was brought in, and it creates a big focal point, just like the wallpaper in the back. It draws all the guests straight into the back. So that was the main feature here.
And they take advantage of the space where the front desk used to be.
This used to be the front desk here at the property, and they demoed it out and installed the seating area because previous to the renovation there wasn't much seating for the lobby area, so it's important for the feel and for people to sit and kind of mingle and relax.
And they did a very similar thing to the area where the small gift shop used to be.
I'm standing in what used to be the gift shop, and so we tore all that down as well, and those items are available here on property as well at the front desk. And then over here there was a soda machine in this back area, and they opened up this wall and created again more seating in this general area.
Perhaps the biggest changes downstairs are the renovations that took place in the cafe area.
We installed the bar. We thought it was a key selling feature for guests here at the property. Previously we just had a coffee shop, but now we also have the coffee machine, so we still produce the coffees, and then the bar as well. Extra seating here in the restaurant and dining area. Updated furniture, previous wood furniture that we did have, and then the French doors that were installed so we can open it up and give that kind of open feel. Here in the near future we're getting patio furniture with umbrellas to kind of create that bistro look outside.
So with all the changes to the LaSalle Hotel, what can guests expect when they stay there? 4-star
property, 3-star price is kind of what we're going for, and as far as clientele, we're looking for just about anybody and everybody that's able to come in and enjoy the surroundings and the decor and whatnot.
City of Bryan Council and staff and other community members got to see some of that service firsthand at the LaSalle's ribbon cutting and reopening ceremony on March 26th. Magnolia Hotel officials were also on hand to meet with City of Bryan personnel. The newly revamped LaSalle Hotel is fully open for business as well as breakfast, lunch, and dinner, so give them a call at 822-2000 or drop by. It's on Main Street in downtown Bryan.
Well, Alan, the renovations look really good. I know they're looking forward to Texas Reds when they can show that off.
Yeah, I know they're really pleased to get all the renovations done before that big event. And they do have some more plans coming up in the future. Maybe 2011 they'll have some more updates to the LaSalle.
Each year, Hammond Oliver Juniors are recognized in a special pinning ceremony which signifies the next step in their education at that campus.
Hammond Oliver is a high school that's specifically for students who want to go into healthcare fields. And you may know or you may not know, those are some of the better opportunities out there. We need lots and lots of healthcare workers. So it's really became apparent to the community that this was a really good focus for a magnet high school. So we take students from both Bryan High and Rudder High School, and we bring them over here and we try to give them as much exposure to healthcare at the high school level as they can get. And in the process of doing that, we teach them a lot of general things about healthcare, health in general, healthcare careers and different career opportunities. And the way that we do that is we focus on trying to get them out into the community. And in the junior year, which is with the students that I teach in health science, they are really looking at a wide breadth of healthcare careers. And so we take them on lots of tours, we take them to the hospital, we take them to pharmacies, we take them all a wide variety of places. And this is to prepare them for making choices when they're seniors, where they actually get to go out and have a prolonged internship in one site. And then as kind of a crowning event, we have this pinning ceremony. And that's a ceremony where the seniors who've been out in the clinical arena all year actually pin the juniors who will next year be going out for these prolonged activities. And they actually get a pin. The pin looks like this. The pin is a caduceus pin, and it's the serpents wrapped around and the carrying wings. So we actually have the seniors present each junior, or visiting pinners present each junior with a caduceus pin, and then we give each one of them a stethoscope. And this is to kind of wish them well as they go out into clinicals for the following year. So this is a ceremony that does impact our students. You know, we do turn out a relatively high number of healthcare workers, you know, down the road. And this is kind of their first pinning ceremony of probably a future down the road of a white coat ceremony or another pinning ceremony. And it's a pretty profound thing for a high school student to get to do.
Okay, so Sandy, they're all pinned up. I guess now the next step is to determine where they're going to start their internships.
That's right. The counselors work closely with the students, and they really do customize their options. They're in everything from doctors and dentist office, even veterinary clinics.
Our next story is about the annual Blue Bunny event. That's where families and their children hunted Easter eggs and met Bryan police officers. 12,000 eggs were scattered about Stephen F. Austin Middle School's football field on Saturday, March 27th for Blue Bunny.
Blue Bunny is our community involvement with Easter. They're going to do a community Easter egg hunt. The chaplain's corps at the police department puts it on. We have a lot of people here. We have the canines and the cars and the motorcycles up for all the kids to look into the cars and actually visit with the officers on a positive level.
And besides all the fun, that's the biggest part of Blue Bunny, for officers to meet and greet the citizens they are protecting.
We want the kids to see us as other people, as friends, and if they need us to come to help, not just writing maybe their parents a ticket or showing up at a bad accident. We want them to know that we're here to help, and it's that positive part of being involved in the community. We live here with the community, we work here with them, so we want to be a part of the community and let them know that we're here to help them.
In addition to all the eggs that the kids scooped up, 2 kids from each of the 3 age groups walked away with a brand new bike. Our Bryan Police Department recently received some great news. They were reaccredited and also received high praise from the accreditation agency. The Bryan Police Department has been reaccredited by the Commission on Accreditation for Law Enforcement Agencies, or CALEA. The accreditation process is rigorous and is verified every 3 years by a team of assessors. In addition to being reaccredited, CALEA recognized the Bryan PD as one of its flagship agencies, a status only given to a handful of departments. Accreditation is handed out by CALEA based on a department's policy and procedures, operations, management, and support services. The Bryan Police Department's recognition guarantees the department is committed to making Bryan the safest city in Texas.
High school students have a number of options when it comes to course selection for the upcoming year. We recently sat down with one of our lead counselors who talked about how they guide students through that process.
It's my 6th year here, and every single year with registration we've attempted something that's a little bit different in an effort to make it a better process. And so last year what we did was we met just with 9th graders face to face, and then we did a more traditional registration process with the other grade levels. And so that really spurred us to say, okay, this year let's try to meet face to face with 9th and 11th graders, which was our original plan, and we thought we would do 10th graders too, and then it's too many kids. And so we tried to modify that to where we were able to still meet face-to-face, because we did meet face-to-face with every kid, but it took place within the confines of the classroom period. Well, one of the questions I always ask someone is just what are they interested in? Because some of them have a goal in mind already. They've already decided that they want to go to college to be a lawyer or to do something like that, whereas other kids have no clue. And for the kids that are just like, I have no idea what I want, we start trying to get out what are their hobbies or their other interests. So once we can pull something out of them that's an area of interest, we start looking at all of our different career and technology offerings, which that's changing. Our offerings are going to be even bigger than they have been in the past. And so once a kid says something like, I want to study forensics, we can kind of point them to a pathway that exists and make suggestions for courses that they could follow for the next 3 years or 2 years in the case of a sophomore. I think our role has many facets to it, and we all have different strengths. We all got into being a guidance counselor because we want to work with kids and we want to help. You know, just even today we've had some counselors that have been behind closed doors dealing with personal issues with students, and that's one of our many important roles that we have. But then, you know, technically we're guidance counselors. You know, our job is to help guide kids toward making the correct class choices in post-high school experience, whatever that's going to be. We want to make sure that kids know they have something to do after they graduate from a Bryan ISD high school.
Sandy, I think it's great that those students have that guidance, because I imagine it can be an overwhelming time for them.
It really can be, with so many options, everything from career tech programs to specialized academic programs. It can be overwhelming, but our counselors do a good job of guiding them through that.
Next, we'll send you to our reoccurring segment, Council Update, with Communications Director April Saganar.
At our most recent City Council meeting on March the 30th, the Council entered an agreement with the City of Brenham to share the benefits of a Homeland Security grant. The City of Bryan's Fire Department will receive approximately $21,000 to be used for portable radios and upgrades. The City of Brenham, as the primary grant recipient, will receive about $36,000 in grant funds. The new equipment will be used for the Brazos Valley Wide Area Communication System when it goes online in the near future. As always, if you'd like to watch a City Council meeting in its entirety, you can log on to bryantx.gov.
Well, April is tax month, and many of our schools are using pep rallies as a way to motivate students in the days preceding the test.
It's no secret that the tax test is a big deal in public schools, so a lot goes into preparing students to be successful on the test. For a number of Bryan's elementary campuses, teachers and administrators put together pep rallies to get students excited about the test. At many of these pep rallies, athletes from Texas A&M were special guests who shared their secrets for preparing for big challenges. Swimmers, runners, basketball players, and even quarterback Gerard Johnson were among the athletes who turned out to challenge students to do their best on the tax test. At Bonham Elementary, students and teachers also worked up musical numbers as a way to encourage and entertain the kids.
This is our second tax pep rally, and we put it together so we could get all of our students fired up so that they would you know, be motivated and feel confident and prepared, that they were prepared to pass the tax test. Last year we had our first one, and it was so exciting, and then our school got exemplary, and then we thought, oh, that is cool. So we did it again, and I have to say that the students were so excited here today. You could see that, and that we had so much support, though. I mean, the principals pretty much give me leeway to take over, and I just kind of come by once in a while and approve some things. And then Texas A&M has been very supportive to us in sending the basketball players, and that's always a lot of fun. And our music director has been super. I mean, he has just been awesome. The kids have worked for 2 months every single morning practicing that dance, and just to get it right, you know, because we wanted it to be good, because we wanted the rest of the students to get fired up over it, and I think they did. And the teachers, oh, that was something. The Bon Beyonces, they had a lot of fun doing that. They had just a great amount of fun just putting that together, just to see the kids smile and laugh. So I think it turned out well.
Well, Sandy, now that all those teachers and students are pumped up and ready for the tax, when do they actually take the test?
Well, we had a few during the first week of April, but then the last week of the month is when the all-important exit level and many of the other tests are given.
Every year, the Bryan Leadership Academy takes place to educate Bryan residents about everything that goes on in each department of the city. The Bryan Leadership Academy is held each spring on Monday nights. One of Bryan's executive services assistants, Sally Jerica, organizes BLA.
It's a place where citizens can apply and come in and learn for 9 weeks. They can hear from over 20 different city departments and basically learn the inner workings of the city.
It's a great thing for residents who want to learn more about the city departments, including the communications department.
We really feel that the more educated you are, the better prepared you are to actually interact and get more involved with the city and the community that you live in. The more education that you have, and you know the way things work, you know who to contact when you have a water leak, you understand how the police department runs. Those are just a few of the departments that you actually hear from and see an in-depth look at whenever you hear the presentations from these departments.
It's also a great way to become involved.
If you want to come and be a volunteer, get involved with a board or commission, maybe one day run for council, run for a county seat at some point, it really helps you have that background knowledge.
You can't join BLA this year because it's already started, but stay tuned for the 2011 version.
Well, Alan, I've known several people who've been through that academy. Now, is it just held once a year?
It is. They register for the class in the late part of the winter, and it actually runs through sometime in May.
Our state champion Bryan High School Color Guard is getting ready for their annual spring show. We spent some time with them recently as they get ready for that program.
The Color Guard program has intense training sessions during the summer. And then as soon as school starts, we are in marching band mode, where we perform on the football field with the marching band as the visual representation of the music. And then around November, we start, after football season is over, we start preparing for winter guard season, which is where we compete on our own and the gymnasiums all across Texas, and we do a theme show to music. And we prepare it from November, and the state championship is on the last weekend in March.
The Bryan High Color Guard has been recognized as one of the top programs in the state, and at their recent state competition, they demonstrated their skills once again.
They won several awards and recognitions throughout the season, but the most important would be at our state championship competition. They were gold medalists and state champions of their class. This year's show was a tribute to Space Shuttle Challenger explosion of 1986, and we lost 7 astronauts in that tragedy, and the members of the Color Guard, through music and dance, paid tribute to those astronauts that we lost. The show starts out with the excitement of going to see the space shuttle launch. You know, all the audience, they show on many of the clips that we watched for inspiration, you know, school children of Christy McCullough, who was the teacher in space, watching their teacher, you know, in the space shuttle actually live in person, and they were very excited. So the members start by performing the show with that mood of excitement, and then you'll hear in the music, you'll hear the actual explosion happen, and then the mood changes to this, you know, the somberness of losing them, and then at the end they actually go to the mode of after, you know, the great thing these people did for our country, and the history of, you know, people will study them forever and ever and ever and ever because of the great things they did for the country and what they sacrificed for us.
The Color Guard will be performing their award-winning flag routine at their upcoming spring show.
Our spring show is April 17th in the Bryan High School Gymnasium at 7 p.m. Each member of the Color Guard will do a solo or a duet, And then we have several guest performances, one being the Aggie Wranglers, our own VHS steel drum ensemble. The Rudder Color Guard will be performing, the A&M Consolidated Color Guard is coming to perform. It's just a night of fun to showcase the kids and everything they've done this year.
In her 3 years directing the Bryan High Color Guard, Mrs. DeBellis has led the team to 2 state championships. She's hoping that their recent success will get new students excited about being a part of this award-winning team.
We are very interested in making the program grow. Anybody can join when they come into 9th grade, they don't have to have been in the middle school program to be a part of the Guard. We teach them everything they need to know. We're really looking this year to make the program grow in the next few years, so anyone who's interested, I would suggest to come to tryouts, and that's May 3rd through 7th in the Bryan High Band Hall from 4:30 to 6:30.
Well, Sandy, I'm sure most people are familiar with the Color Guard from their halftime performances during football season, but this shows that there's a whole different side to the program.
There really is. The competitive season involves so much creative dance and choreography, so we're really hoping that students will be interested in this and that more will be involved.
Every year, the City of Bryan has sponsored some sporting events at Texas A&M University. The most recent was an A&M softball game. On a chilly but sunny afternoon on March 28th, Bryan Mayor Mark Conley and April Saganor from the Communications Department attended a Texas A&M softball game as part of the city's ongoing sponsorship of A&M athletics. Conley and Saganor greeted fans and passed out t-shirts emblazoned with the City of Bryan's logo. The Aggie softball team, currently ranked 21st in the nation, played host to the Kansas Jayhawks in a game that they went on to win 10-1. Before the game, Mayor Conley went to the pitcher's circle with head coach Joe Evans and threw out the ceremonial first pitch. The City of Bryan also sponsored an A&M women's basketball game and hosted a marketing tent during home football games earlier this year. This year's Earth Day event in the Bryan College Station area is scheduled for April 17th at College Station's Wolf Pen Creek Amphitheater. Here's a preview of the event. The 2010 Earth Day event is Saturday, April 17th at Wolf Pen Creek Amphitheater in College Station. The event runs from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. and it's completely free.
This year is going to be the best Earth Day yet. We have a ton of live entertainment. We're opening the event with a drum circle. Anybody can come and bring their drums and instruments and join in to help celebrate the opening of the event. And then we'll have live entertainment throughout the day on stage at Wolf Pen, and over 50 exhibitor booths from the community coming out and sharing information on their green business or organization, and tons of activities for the kids. We have an obstacle course and a putt-putt golf zone. We have tons of free activities for the kids to get involved in, so we're really excited about this year's event.
There's obviously going to be lots of fun at the event, but plenty of opportunities for education as well.
The main purpose of the event is to educate the community on various environmental issues and ways they can get involved. So they can come and learn how to reduce their energy usage, how to plant native and green in their yard. They can learn how to conserve water and protect local waterways. So ultimately the point of the event is just to educate the community and get them involved as well.
Once again, Earth Day is Saturday, April 17th at 11 a.m., and there will be plenty of free parking in the JCPenney parking lot at the Post Oak Mall, which is right across the street.
Well, Alan, I know last year's event got canceled because of bad weather. Hopefully the weather's cooperating this year.
Yeah, it was really disappointing because last year was scheduled to be held in downtown Bryan, but it looks like this year the weather will cooperate.
Bryan Collegiate students have spent the last few weeks preparing for a fashion show, but the creations they modeled might not be what you would expect at such an event.
Actually, I was watching Project Runway last year, and they did a segment on recycled fashion, and I thought, that's it. That's what we can do, because we can do more, I think, good by running awareness campaigns than a small school like us. We can't raise a lot of funds or something. We do participate in actually keeping Brazos beautiful with the trash off and other things, but we can do an awareness campaign. Of course, fashion is my passion, so it was perfect. The show this year, same as last year, we made fashion out of trash as an awareness campaign for recycling, reducing, reusing. I probably started the campaign about a month ago. I put the word out, and they started, because of last year's success, boy, they got right to work, saving their garbage and digging in garbage. I actually had one girl dumpster dive every weekend since for 4 weeks now. So she did great. We had the construction crew is our dance crew that has emerged, and I think there were 25 involved going to practices 2-3 times a week for hours during lunch. Amazing. I did ask them for this show to incorporate a more global experience, and so they came back to me with Afro jazz and Bollywood and other things, so I was very excited about that. We had our dance duo that's been performing for us now for 3 years. We had designers designing outfits made of trash, the Scrapture pieces, which I collaborated with the geometry teacher, and I thought those turned out amazing. And then the trash and fashion. So all in all, I had 70 participants, that's dancers and everything. But I do like to bring it into the, why we're here and why we're in business, and that is to educate our students. And like I already mentioned, the geometry class, but in marketing class, students were actually created in their own hats. We went through a photo session, they modeled, and then they created, by manipulating pictures, publisher, wrapping it up as JPEGs, they made advertisements, flyers, and they kind of used that to make video of their hat haute couture, as I called it. So that was a way for me to show them how does the flow really happen, and that, of course, that was marketing. And then we did pie charts of how long things stay in the landfill and other things like that. So that's how we kind of tie it into the curricular. And another benefit of a show like this is it gives us great incentive. We've already been invited to A&M to perform on April 22nd for Earth Day, and we're really excited about that. But there's a stipulation, and that is that they have to achieve a certain grade, have all their work turned in. So let me tell you, there's about 70 kids that are hoofing it in school right now, which this is the time we need them to do it. We're right at the end. So it all works for everybody's benefit.
Well, Sandy, that looked like a very creative and very fun event for those students.
It was, and it was also a fundraiser. Students and staff paid $1 to watch the show, and all the proceeds went to the Children's Miracle Network.
Last on today's episode of Bryan Living and Learning, we'll show you a PSA that we recently created that talks about leaving your trash can on the curb for too long. The City of Bryan wants to remind you to remove your trash container from the curb no more than 12 hours after service.
Well, that's all the time we have today on Bryan Living and Learning. I'm Sandy Ferris.
And I'm Alan Brugman. Thanks for watching.